me turn things over to Mr. Quigley and Ms. Yu. And let me just say that before we get to the park levy discussion, I would like to make some comments. Okay? And that being said, let's talk about grants. So,
Right, I just want to make it on record to state that because of due diligence of the township employees and trustees, and it's my understanding that Nancy Fay played a really key role in organizing, helping us out here, that last week we're happy to say that we submitted 4 grant applications worth a total of $1,040,000, correct? This is an important step for the township to find alternative funding methods to work towards completion of the Parks Master Plan that was created with the input of residents of Orange Township. We know that the Parks Master Plan is a very extensive plan with many projects anticipated in the coming years. As we mentioned last meeting, we could have justified increasing the parks levy amount based on the master plan, but we want to make sure we are being responsible and look for different ways to fund these parks and trails without putting the burden of cost completely on the residents. It is important to understand that these grants are considered repayment grants and will require the township to have the funds up front to complete the projects. That is why we're only asking for a renewal of the 1.5 mils levy, so we may proceed with these projects to be eligible for these grants. These grants and future grants will help the township work toward completing the Parks Master Plan at a lower cost to the residents. As we move forward in the coming years, we will continue to research and apply for grants for future projects. And again, I want to thank everyone that was involved with this to make this happen. Do you have any?
I wanted to make sure that Nancy was mentioned, because I know that Scott and myself and Alicia are kind of out there, but Nancy, we took her away from Gail and from everybody else in the township, and she kept us organized and made all the changes and put everything together, and she was really instrumental in us getting everything done, completed, and submitted on time.
okay. And I believe you're going for something in the neighborhood of $1,040,000, something like that. That's for 2010.
Correct.
Right. Just want to make that.
And they're looking forward to looking at other grants for down the road.
Yeah, there'll be a preservation parks grant later in the year that we'll apply for. We will be ordering the pedestrian signal for Owen Field, which we got the grant for last year. Now that the books are open, we'll do that shortly and have that installed. And then,
Okay. I'm going to make a suggestion, if I may, gentlemen. Mr. Quigley, if we could, because I want to give Mr. Tignano plenty of time and room and space to be able to present to us from the Olentangy River leadership. So that being the case, if we could go immediately to 7D and 7E, and we'll do the park levy discussion on the other side. I see it's 7:25 now.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so 7D, Park Enterprise Construction, pay request for $27,982.72. Are there any questions?
No.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the release of payment to Glen Oak Park Project, Park Enterprise Construction Company Incorporated, in the amount of $27,982.72 for pay request application number 2.
Second.
Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And the next item is for the balance of the pool furniture for a total of $7,476.66. Are there any questions?
If
I have
Yes,
just
you
a
can
quick
speak to that for
summary
me,
of
please. Yes.
kind of what transpired there.
Go ahead.
Before I had gone here in May, Mr. Bobowski and I think the township, the consensus was that we had originally needed 50 chairs, 50 lounges, 8 tables, 8 umbrellas, and 8 bases. There was some question with what that final amount was. Mr. Katz indicated that he really was more comfortable spending about half of that. We inquired with CPM as to what the cost would be to change that from 50 chairs and lounges to 25, keeping 8 tables, umbrellas, and bases. There's some confusion in Mr. Bobowski sent an email to CPM asking for that quote. CPM responded that they got his request, We didn't get a timely response from them. I was on board at the time. I made several phone calls to CPM and basically hounded them for a number. They came back with a number of $10,592.10. No one from CPM at this time recalls that conversation or is kind of abiding by that. Basically what happened was they ordered 50 chairs, 50 lounges, 8 tables and umbrellas, etc. They delivered 50 chairs, 50 lounges. When the delivery was made, the pool had already opened. They were approximately a week delivering, even though we told them in time to get it there. It wasn't delivered on the day it was open. So furniture had been spread out and spread around. When it was delivered, that was all intermingled. There wasn't really a count. CPM thought they delivered what we wanted. We thought we'd gotten what we ordered. And in the end, that's not what turned out. Basically, the bottom line is, I mean, we can argue that we didn't order it, take it back. But we have used it. It fits into the pool. The people are utilizing it. I don't think that it's such a bad thing to have the extra furniture. And in 2010, we can utilize the furniture. So the thought is, with the approval of the trustees, that we keep the furniture, pay the balance, and CPM has been told not to order anything in the future without an actual PO.
Did this put us over budget for pool furniture for 2009?
For 2009, it did. This pushes it into 2010. It's kind of budgeted for 2010, not in a specific line item.
As you mentioned earlier, though, you said people are using it, so I'm assuming that from that statement that if we didn't have it, there'd be a lot more people sitting on the ground.
Correct. Or there would be, you know, right now, it's kind of it's an interesting scenario that happens in every pool. As people come and the kids come, they grab chairs with their parents,
Right.
towels and things lay on it. You know, as more and more people come during the day, some of those chairs are given up to adults and actually utilized. You know, when we have a lot of people at the pool, every chair has something on it, whether it's a child who is utilizing it for the 15-minute break, or it's an adult who's actually sitting there and using it. It's kind of a toss-up. But at this point, Pete Blueball, who's the manager at the pool, is comfortable with the furniture that we have and things that we needed. And I tend to agree based upon seeing how the pool operates.
Will we be purchasing new pool furniture this spring?
We're not anticipating any additional pool furniture being purchased.
I have no further questions.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the issuance of a then and now purchase order to Columbus Pool Management in the amount of $7,476.76 for the balance of the pool.
60 cents.
I said 60, I'm sorry. Didn't come across that way. For balance of the pool furniture delivered in 2009. Second.
Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
Mr. Cassidy?
Yes.
Mr. Katz?
Yes. Okay. And with that, we are temporarily done with the performance report. Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Appreciate it. And we move on. It is now 7:30 on the clock. Perfect timing for Mr. Tignano to come front and center. And first of all, welcome. Thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you. It's not only perfect timing, but you had perfect pronunciation of my last name.
I know, and that's
Maybe a first among all